Hey guys, today we are going to talk about dot plots and histograms as well as frequency tables. So let me move this over here. We're working on Unit 7, Lesson 2, and this lesson should be fairly easy for you. Okay, so let me go ahead and zoom in so we can see a little better. Alrighty, so dot plots. A dot plot shows the frequency of data. Frequency is how often something happens, okay? Data is recorded on a number line. This is for a dot plot. And each point is represented as a value. So each dot could represent 1. Sometimes they might tell you each dot represents 2, okay? And then each does go over its corresponding number on the number line. Okay, so let's look at this example. What is the most frequent number of brothers and sisters? So the most frequent is 2, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people who have 2 brothers and sisters. So 2. What is the least number of brothers and sisters? So 2 people have 0 brothers and sisters, and 2 people have 4 brothers and sisters. So the least frequent in this case is shared by 2 values. So 0 and 4. All right. So that was simple. Now, what I want us to do is to make a frequency table out of this information, okay? So a frequency table is a little different looking. So we're going to say in our frequency table, number of brothers and sisters, okay? And then over to the right, we would put the frequency. And so the frequency of the number of people with 0 brothers and sisters is 2. 1 is 3. 2 brothers and sisters was 5 people. 3 is 3. And 4 is 2. And that's how I would make a frequency table out of that information. Now let's take a look at histograms. I'm going to zoom in a little more. Histograms are a special form of bar chart or bar graph that displays data. In a histogram, there are no gaps between the columns to show that the data is continuous. When making a histogram, data should be divided into equal parts. And each interval should have the same number of occurrences in it. All right. In a histogram, the bars must be the same width. All right. So let's go take a look at an example, and we're going to create a histogram from a frequency table. Okay. So we have a frequency chart. Now they had data that would have been the number of cups of coffee someone drinks in a day between 0 and 19 cups. And they broke it up into equal groups of 3. So 0 to 3 people have 2, 4 to 7 people have 3, 8 to 11 have 8 cups of coffee. That would be me. 12 to 15 cups of coffee was 3 people. 16 to 19 is 2. Okay? And so what we're going to do now is create a histogram. And we are going to use this because this is already broken up into equal occurrences. All right, so that's my equal occurrences right there. All right, and then this is the frequency. The frequency is going to go up where my y-axis would be. The occurrences are going to go where my x-axis would be. All right, so that's how I break down my frequency table into occurrences, and I know where to put them on the graph. So create a histogram graph outline that works with the data. The frequency, or how many times something happens, goes on the y-axis, and that's what we just talked about. The subject of the information collected goes on the bottom, or the x-axis. So we're going to plot this data on the histogram now. Okay, so our number of occurrences goes along the bottom. So 0 to 3, 4 to 7, 8 to 11, 12 to 15, and 16 to 19. And then the frequency is going to go up the side. Now, our smallest number in our frequency is a 2. So I'm going to start this out. Let's say 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay? And let's label our axes. It's always important to do that. Number of cups of coffee. That is on our x-axis. And then on our y-axis is our frequency. So let me turn this over and write the word frequency. Okay. All right. So now we're ready to start graphing. Remember, we want these to be the same width or as close as possible since we're doing this by hand. So 0 to 3 cups of coffee is 2 people. So there's our 2 people. 4 to 7 cups of coffee was 3 people. So that's going to be right in the middle here. We want to try to get these to be about the same width. 8 to 11 cups of coffee was 8 people. So that's going to go all the way up to 8. Come over, try to make it the same width. 12 to 15 cups of coffee was 3 people again. And 16 to 19 cups of coffee was back down to 2 people. Okay, and hopefully we've gotten our amounts pretty much close. If you want to, you could color these, right? So I'm just going to alternate colors so that we can see them. So the key thing to remember with a histogram, how is it different from a bar graph? Well, for one, the bars touch each other to show that the data is continuous, okay? The number of occurrences is spread out equally, so 3 occurrences in each category. All right, that is our histogram. Now, for our next example, what I would like for you to do is to practice making a frequency table. Let me zoom out a tiny bit. How many people have different types of pets? I've already created the tallies, so I've collected the data for you, and I want you to create the frequency table. So go ahead and pause your video, and I want you can either do it on paper or visualize in your mind, how would you fill in this frequency table? So please pause the video for a minute while you do that. All right, so I have filled in my 5 different types of animals that people have. And now what I'm going to do is count my tallies and get my number of frequency and fill it in the chart. So just in case you don't remember how to count tallies, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then when you see this cross, that's 5. So tallies help you count really quick. So I know that would be 5 plus 1 is 6 people have dogs. How many people have cats? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many people have a bird? 1. A mouse? 2. A snake? 1. All right, and that is how we create a frequency table. Now, our next lesson in math is going to be two-way, using a two-way frequency table to create a relative frequency. So I just want us to kind of get started on how do we create a two-way frequency table. It's similar to this, all right, but a little bit different. So here's my whiteboard, and I'm going to zoom out. Create a two-way frequency table. So I have a list. I know that 4 people own a red car, 6 people own a blue car, 3 people own a red SUV, and 8 people own a blue SUV. So here's how we're going to create a two-way frequency table. Okay, we're going to put car, SUV, and then the total, okay, across the top. And now on the side, we're going to put red, blue, total. And here is our two-way frequency table. So now we need to fill in how many people own a red car. And that is 4 people. How many people own a red SUV? And that is 3 people right here. So now I want to decide altogether how many people drive a vehicle that is red. And the total here is 7. Okay, let's work on blue. How many people drive a blue car? Right here, blue car, the answer is 6. How many people drive a blue SUV? That down here is 8. So how many people in total drive a vehicle that is blue? The answer is 14. Okay, so now what is 7 plus 14? That's going to be the grand total, 21. Now we're going to add up now also how many people drive a car, how many people drive an SUV, and the total should also come out to be 21. So the total number of people that drive cars is 4 plus 6, and I get 10. The number of people that drive SUVs is 3 plus 8 is 11. And does 10 plus 11 equal 21? So long as both of your total columns equal 21, you are pretty good. You should have done it correctly. So that is a two-way frequency table. Now, there are times where you might be given a frequency table. Let me erase this and make a new one up. Okay. So let's see. Boy, girl, total. Okay. And then let me just create something. Let's see. like to read, let's say, books or magazines? So I just created this out of thin air, okay? So how many boys like to read books or magazines? How many girls like to read books or magazines? And if I were to fill this in, let's say 9 boys, 2 boys, okay. So if I were to fill this in right here and just stop, you would need to be able to fill in the remainder of the frequency table. So I'm going to switch my colors, okay? And let's talk about how are we going to fill this in the rest of the way, okay? So they've given me just enough information to be able to fill in the rest of it. So what is the total number of boys? And that's 11, right? Now, how would I fill in this value? Well, the total is 25 and 11 of them are boys. So let's do 25 minus 11, and that should give me the number of girls. So 1, 4. So there's 14 girls. So if 7 girls like to read magazines, how many girls like to read books? So 14 minus 7 would be 7. Okay. And now I can fill in the rest. Let's see, magazines, 2 plus 7, a total of 9. Books, 9 plus 7 is a total of 16. And then you just want to double check that everything adds up, okay? 16 plus 9 is definitely 25. And then everything else seems to check out. So you need to be able to fill in missing information on a frequency or on a two-way frequency table. Fill in the frequency table. That would be how we do this. Okay? So that is what your practice assignment is going to be today. It's going to be about dot plots, histograms, and frequency tables. All right? I think that you guys have a really good shot at being super successful with this practice assignment because I believe pretty much all of this information is review for you. And if it's not review, I think it was really simple. If you're having any trouble with any of this information, please feel free to contact me. All right? Good luck on this. I know you're going to do great. Until next time.